What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mod Squad Network's Layeth the Squad Down. I am your host, Kevin. Joining me, as always, is Steve.
Hey everybody, what's going on?
Oh, Jesus, mocking me over there already.
I
How you
want to
doing
say
this week?
I want to say I did it last week on Back to the Retro,
You
and
probably did.
I don't know if you caught that one, but I'm good. I'm good, Kevin. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Had a decent week of wrestling. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We had the Bloodline kick off Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
And it was revealed by Paul Heyman that the Bloodline have made a pact with the Judgment Day to let's see, they want Finn Balor and Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio to take care of Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle in the main event.
Balor,
Yeah, Balor.
Balor,
Yeah, I don't know why I say it that way. I just like saying it
Balor.
that way.
As Gandalf fought the Balor down in the depths of the heaven below.
I do like the fact that they had this little standoff in the ring, and there was this just total eye lock between Rhea and
And
Solo.
Solo, and they had to trade spots. Let's move you
Oh,
over.
yeah, and Paul's like, Solo, why don't you come over here and move over here? So they change spots, and then Balor just slowly takes a step back, and Rhea just slowly walks over, not taking her eye off Solo whatsoever.
It's so good. Like
It,
some of the stuff they're doing is so good and silly.
it,
Like
it,
they're putting out content. Like it's like Renfield. It's not amazing. It's not bad. I just went and saw Renfield in the theater. It's not amazing. It's not bad. It's entertaining.
it's entertainment, and that's what wrestling is. It's sports entertainment. So here, let's see. It was a good promo segment basically. Next we have Rey Mysterio versus Solo Sikoa. Of course, Solo defeats Rey. Defeats Rey. There was a little LWO interference and stuff like that, but the Bloodline came out and you know
Did what the
Solo.
bloodline does.
That's right. Solo defeats Rey. Next, we had Bianca Belair taking on Dakota Kai because Dakota Kai wanted to prove herself. Since Io Sky won her match last week, Dakota Kai decided to take on Bianca, and she got beat. She got beat easily. It was
Yeah.
not. I mean,
She's the champ. Bianca's the champion. Like
yeah, you don't. I can
put her
see Io.
against like Zelina Vega. Put her against like Carmella, like someone that's
Yeah,
possibly beatable. Not the
exactly.
champ.
Not the champ. Not the champ.
Poor
Bianca.
Dakota.
Not a. I've never been a Dakota fan.
My
Never been
wife,
a Dakota fan.
my wife and I were watching Raw, and they were doing a recap of last week when Dakota Kai and Io Sky were confronting Bailey, and my wife looks up and goes, "She's just wearing a bra. That's
Huh?
not even like a sports bra. That's she's not trying to cut. That's just a bra." As she's
Yep.
talking about Dakota Kai, and I'm like, "Oh, I just thought it was a top."
No, it was a bra. That's all she wears mostly. I mean, she's not. She don't have a lot to cover up. So
I'm not complaining.
next we have Cody Rhodes and a Brock Lesnar promo.
Uh,
Rhodes will square off with Brock Lesnar on May 6th at Backlash, as revealed by Adam Pearce. The American Nightmare was unable to get his hands on the Beast incarnate as the WWE officials summoned security to prevent a physical altercation.
I really think they're just gonna have Cody just continuously lose now. I think they're just gonna. I think what they're doing is they're doing the way of Dusty. This is his American dream. You know what I mean? This is
Mhm.
his comeback story. I don't think Cody is going to beat Brock. Let alone the fact if Cody didn't beat Roman, Cody shouldn't beat Brock. Brock is bigger than Roman.
I kind of feel that. I kind of feel that. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Cody lose and then have him do a comeback story
I
at Mania
guess.
again.
I
At Mania,
guess.
yeah, maybe.
Resurrect Dusty for the corner win.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Next, we have
That
Seth
would be
Rollins.
that would be the man. I mean, he is the master of resurrection. I mean, right?
Sure. Next, we have Seth Rollins versus The Miz, with The Miz winning. I'm sorry. Rollins defeating The Miz. Rollins.
It's still a solid match.
It was a really good match. It was a good match. I mean, these are two veterans in there. The Miz, even when he first started out, was not very good. He's become a solid ring general in there, and probably a locker room leader. So, and Rollins is Rollins. So, yeah. Next, we get the United States Championship: Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory. This ended in a no contest. Let's see. I don't remember what happened.
Either do I.
So this was the best Lashley we have ever seen. And Reed is it? Oh, that's right. Bronson Reed came out and attacked Lashley. Bronson Reed came out and attacked Lashley. So there you go. Next, we have Trish Stratus addresses the WWE
Oh,
Universe.
and let me say, I love. There's very few things that I pay attention to in the WWE. I love that they have Trish coming out in her basic original like Test and Albert gear outfit. For those that don't know, I would say TNA because that's what they called them. It was Test and Albert. They called them TNA, and Trish was their manager. I loved the little throwback nuance to it.
Oh, it was. I seen a side by side comparison, and God,
It's
Trish.
basically the same outfit. Like
Oh,
Trish
it
still
really
looks
is.
the same.
And Trish she still looks amazing in it. The only difference was the cowboy hat. She had a cowboy hat originally. She didn't have one this week. But I like what she said though. She said that she was the women's division, basically. So I like it.
And she never got the recognition that she felt that she deserved.
That's true. Next, we had Mia Yim and Candice LeRae versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, with Green and Deville defeating Yim.
Daddy
Yim
DeVille.
Yim taking yet another pin. I wish to God they would stop making her take the pin. I'm sick of it.
The too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, but I like Mia Yim should be pinning both, at least one of these two. I mean,
Yeah, but
even
they're giving Chelsea Green a fucking push right now. So
yeah,
an undeserved push.
undeserved. Exactly right. Then we have the main event of the night: Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle versus the Judgment Day. Judgment Day did not fulfill their end of the bargain because Zayn, Owens, and Riddle defeat the Judgment Day. What was that?
What happened on SmackDown?
Well, I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking about tonight. Yeah, and that was actually a pretty good match. But SmackDown, move on over to SmackDown here.
There you go.
SmackDown, we have Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus the Judgment Day. And the Judgment Day defeat
The LWO,
Mysterio
of course.
and Escobar. The
It's the
LWO.
LWO, the
Yeah.
Latin World Order. That's right.
Which I'm glad that they brought that back. You know, a little throwback to WCW.
I guess like what? Let's just bring back the Wolfpack. Fuck. I mean,
I would. I'd be down for it. I'd
boom,
be down
boom,
for it.
boom, 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 boom,
I
boom.
one
Wolfpack's back.
top five best theme song in WWE ever, or in wrestling ever.
Wolfpack's back.
Then we have Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Viking Raiders. Yeah,
You
Ricochet
get
and
Braun
Strowman.
Strowman randomly trying to throw Ricochet into the Viking Raiders, in which the commentators just immediately lose it laughing.
Yeah, Ricochet and Strowman defeat the Viking Raiders. Though I'm over.
They're turning into a solid tag team, but I'm quite over Braun Strowman in general. So I don't think he should have ever come back.
Yeah, I'm over this tandem. I'm not feeling it. Like, I get it; they're two popular characters on their own, but you put them together, and for me, it's oil and water.
Sure, they don't. It's one's a big powerhouse. The other one is a high flyer.
Right.
Those don't necessarily go well hand in hand.
Right. When as the Viking Raiders, you got just two brutes, and
Yeah.
I believe that if you
You have
take
an established tag team. You have a
yeah,
tag team that have been working together for a decade.
and I believe if you take away Valhalla, I think that they're even better.
Yeah,
'Cause-
100%.
yeah. Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have Morgan and Rodriguez defeating Green and DeVille to retain the title. This was a sleeper match. I didn't care for this match at all, even though Daddy DeVille was in it. This was a excellent match coming up. The Intercontinental Championship match.
Oh, Gunther
Ex-
versus Xavier Woods.
oh,
Oh,
so good.
oh, good.
It was such a good match. I am super impressed with Woods now as a singles wrestler.
I've always loved Woods as a singles wrestler.
I mean, I have too, but let's face it, he's mainly been tag team. I mean, that's
Sure.
basically all
With
he's ever.
with the draft coming up next week, I really hope that Woods gets drafted away from the New Day and
I
he
know.
can just kind of embark on his own journey.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, Kofi's hurt. He probably is not coming back ever. So it's basically Woods anyway. So why not just separate them? It'd be a good time to do it.
Sure.
Next, we have the main event of the night, a no DQ match: Matt Riddle versus Solo Sequoia.
And with that, we have Sokoa essentially on what you'd call an undefeated streak, unless he's going up against Cody Rhodes.
Basically, he only has one blemish on his record. Yes, Solo pinned Riddle. It dude, Solo's just a beast. I'm enjoying what they're doing. They're featuring Solo more now, that especially since Jimmy and Jay lost. So it's a good time for Solo to shine. So I'm happy with what they're doing. So that is what we have for WWE. What do we have for some AE dubs? AE dubs. AE dubs.
For AEW, we started off with Wednesday Night Dynamite. In what is Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Sammy Guevara, Derpy Allen coming on out, uh, talking shit to each other. MJF comes out and says there's going to be a Pillars tournament that two of you are going to face each other tonight. Someone gets a bye, ends up being Derpy Allen. The winners will face each other next week, and the winner of that faces MJF at Double or Nothing. We later do get a promo in the night where MJF essentially aligns himself with Sammy. He hands him a blank check, says, "Name your price. Let's make this happen." We get the Outcasts in our first match against Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker. We end up having Britt Baker over on Ruby Soho. The Elite come on out and they confront the the Blackpool Combat Club. For some reason, I feel like what they are doing with the TNT Championship, it is diminishing what they are doing. We have Wardlow versus Hobbs in a TNT Championship match, in which we get a new champ. Wardlow beats Hobbs, becoming a two-time TNT champ. Like, why do this big build-up for Hobbs to have him hold the belt? What, a month?
If that, yeah, I mean and I like Hobbs having the belt.
I like Hobbs
having
having the belts as
yeah.
well.
I think right now what they're doing is they're doing fan service and just letting who the fans like become champion, and that's not how you run a wrestling promotion.
It's very interesting on how they're doing, how they're just running that belt alone.
Yeah.
We have a great match, an absolute great match between Commander and Jay White. It's actually announced that night on Dynamite that Commander has been signed and he is All Elite.
Oh, nice.
It's a great back and forth with Jay White picking up the win. Rock Hard Juice Robinson was out there with Jay White on what I believe they are calling the GBC, like the gold British, the gold Bullet Club.
Jeeb.
The GBC.
Okay.
I believe that's what they're calling it. We get this great confrontation between Jericho and Adam Cole. As of 2 weeks ago, Adam Cole made his return to the ring, and Jericho came
Mm-hmm.
out. And then that next week, Jericho faced Keith Lee, and Cole came out. So there's this nice confrontation in which Jericho says, "I have no appreciation for you. I don't have any respect for you. I don't think that what you do in the ring is any good." So we're
Okay.
setting up this feud between Jericho and Cole. Garcia ends up coming out, attacking Jericho or attacking Cole. So you get a 2-on-1. Britt Baker ends up running down to make the save for Adam because no one's going to hit a girl. She slaps Daniel Garcia. She slaps Jericho. She's staring Jericho down. And I don't know at what point in the night, whether there's a trap door or whether they just did a complete blackout. But from under the ring, the Outcasts come: Ruby Soho, Tony Storm, Soraya, and they put the fucking boots to Britt Baker. They end up handcuffing Adam Cole to the ring. Like they take the cuff was big enough that they got his hands on the rope and then the cuff around the rope and his hand, which I'm
Wow.
claustrophobic and I don't like being restrained. If it was just my hand on the rope, I would have been freaking out. Like
I got you.
legitimately, like handcuff the rope, handcuff my hand. Give me that wiggle room and I will be fine. But you have it to where I cannot move, I would be freaking out.
I did see photos of Britt Baker's eye later, like full
Full
black
black
eye.
eye.
It's full
Full
black
black
eye.
eye.
I mean,
It
it looked
it
nasty.
was crazy. Um, we end up having the Jericho Appreciation Society, the epitome
The
of
enemy
sports
or
entertainers,
entertainers. Yeah.
going up against the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass.
Is that the claim?
That is the Acclaimed.
Sesame, Stevie ass.
Ah! In which they're doing these weird stipulation type things. There was the stipulation that they essentially just did with Matt Hardy and the Firm, to where if the Jericho Appreciation Society won, the Acclaimed had to join the JAS, and there'd be no scissoring, and they're only with them until the next pay-per-view. It doesn't matter. The Acclaimed picks up the win anyways. So for them, there's no bother in joining. Oh, excuse me, my goodness. There's no bother in joining the JAS. I do not understand the point of the storyline.
Mm-mm.
It's very weird. And with that, we do have our main event of Sammy Guevara versus Jungle Boy. It was a good back and forth. When it's all said and done, Sammy's distracting the ref. MJF comes out attacking Jungle Boy, causing Jack Perry, almost said Luke Perry, Jack Perry, to get a count out. So Sammy wins via count out. Next week, Sammy will face Derpy Allen in a singles match, and the winner of that match will go on to face MJF at the pay-per-view for the Triple B.
All righty then.
With that, we do have Rampage. Rampage was a fun one. Starts with Jon Moxley versus Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, in a good back and forth. Of course, Jon Moxley picks up the win. At the end of the match, Mox, instead of like attacking Daniels like they've been doing to everybody, shakes his hand, walks away. We get Hook coming out with Isaiah Cassidy and the Hardys. They end up getting attacked by the Firm. Jeff Hardy makes an announcement saying that his time essentially isn't longed in wrestling, and he wants to go out. I think his choices are very poorly selected. He wants to go out on a high note.
Okay.
Which
Oh yeah, I get it.
I get it, but at the same time, whoo, that's bad. We get Kiera Hogan taking on Julia Hart. Of course, Julia Hart is going to pick up the win. Anna Jay comes on out after the match, continuing the feud between the two of them, a heel on heel feud, which I never understand. Referees pull them all apart. We get a little promo in the back where like Claudio and Wheeler Yuta go up to Daniels and they're about to attack him. And then Moxley gets between. He goes, no, man. He's cool. He's OG. Like, he's cool. And Daniels makes the mistake of going, wow, Mox, I guess you do have some honor left in you. To which Moxley then just attacks Daniels and goes, we never changed. We never changed. We get Lethal and Jarrett with FTR taking on the Varsity Athletes and Arya Davari, and I think his name is Slim J. Very weird. Of course, with Lethal, Jarrett, and FTR picking up the win. They kind of get into it afterwards. Mark Briscoe comes on in trying to separate them, continuing this Mark Briscoe with as a face with Lethal and Jarrett and all of them as heels, with FTR getting involved. And then for me, we get our main event of Rampage, which is it's just slightly above Commander and Jay White. For my match of the week, that's Drolistico versus El Hijo de Vikingo for the AAA Mega Championship on the main event of Rampage. Great back and forth. La Faccione, La Goblonanes getting involved, eventually getting thrown out. Vikingo just hitting all the crazy moves that he hits. You have a great high-flying luchador like Drolistico going back and forth. When you have two masked luchadors in the ring that perform at such a high caliber quality match as these two, you're going to get nothing but a 5-star match. And that's what we got for this main event of Rampage. It was a 5-star match.
Very cool, very cool. Do you have a match of the week?
Yeah, I just said it. It's Drolistico Vikingo.
Okay, that one. I will mine, since I did not see Rampage, I'm going to actually go WWE, and I am going Gunther versus Xavier Woods.
It's a good one.
So that is my match of the week.
Excellent.
Go check out the match of the week on YouTube, wherever you want to check it out. So definitely go watch those. Make sure you check those out. All right, Steve, where can people find you on your
Last podcast you'd want. It comes out every other week to every week whenever I want to release it. Pop culture, entertainment, movies, old school internet, Jesus Christ, old school interview format. I cannot talk. I need more coffee. Tip the wheel, try the staff. Thank you all for coming in. If you didn't, better luck next time.
All right, guys, make sure you check out Back to the Retro Review. That is where I review movies from the 80s and 90s, and you will see this guy on there as well. Make sure you check out the Mod Squad Network's other shows. We have a Movie Talk Monday, we have a gamer show, we have a horror show, and we go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. All right, guys, that does it for this episode of Layeth the Squad Down on the Mod Squad Network. So, until next time, keep on wrestling, everybody.